vibes. Tis I, Sebastian Piccioni, and this is F3G2. Once again in the back, once again, notice I got the banner. See, I go to work first. In the morning, free comic book day shirts, lots of them. Hats, I look like a tool in hats, but I like wearing them in. But yeah, in the morning, I'm thinking, oh crap, another day teaching the felons. I'm not thinking, oh, am I filming a comic book review? So, as you can see from the way this place looks, leaving it here, while convenient for me, will mean that I'll have it less. Because no one will know where that ends up. Because this is never the same setup of stuff behind us. I don't know if you noticed that. And I'm not even talking like this week we skipped a week. I'm talking, it is never the same setup of stuff. Because they're just random. What we got here?
You never know what's going to come in shipment.
Here's a Walking Dead, the
Dead
scariest show
costume?
on television costume. It comes with body parts to drape around you so you can walk through town unattacked by zombies. I don't know what to tell you. This giant treasury size bags because we have them. And weird Totoro thing that says, Rick, find the price for Seb. James, don't put this on eBay yet. Don't put this on the eBays yet because that's how I write. And it's been here for a while now. And we even got weird little Mechagodzilla. Why weird little Mechagodzilla? Because we have weird little
Awesome
Mechagodzilla.
looking Mechagodzilla.
And mostly because, yeah, we just wanted to put Mechagodzilla up there and say Mechagodzilla.
Of course.
This is just some of the stuff we're surrounded by. I don't know what to tell you. Sailor Moon people.
One day it'll all crush us.
Yeah, one day it's all just going to fall. That'll make for great ratings. Alright. I got some books to review. It's just this week. I didn't bother with the week that we skipped. Damn you! So we skipped last week. My wife was supposed to have surgery. They canceled my wife's surgery and are postponing my wife's surgery. So eventually I'll have to skip another week or two. But on the plus side, I won't be the one cut in half to have their spleen yanked out. So I guess really we should feel bad for my wife, who most people feel bad for anyway because, you know, she's my wife. So really, she's like, while you're in there, can you just kill me? It was actually a request she put in. It was insurance wasn't going to cover that. All right, all new X-Men number 36 concludes rather nicely the X-Men Lost in the Ultimate Universe crossover. Ironically, just in time for Marvel's Convergence, which is Secret Wars, to mash up the two universes. Anyway, so who knows who the hell, you know, these characters will see each other again. Will they remember that they've met each other before? I don't know. Will they remember that they used to be from different worlds? I don't know. I don't know.
Will we care?
Also,
Will it matter?
Bendis is wrapping up his X run, and this breaks my heart because Bendis' X run has been one of my favorite X runs in the history of X runs. Also, I like saying X runs.
You know, Marvel sabotage.
Smallville continuity. I picked it up because there's so many people on the cover. Really, because Superboy was on the cover, and there's Anna and Jaina. But you know, not because their false Blue Beetle was on there. Grr. But there's like an Everybody War. And while New 52 was a mashup, was a mix-up of different ideas of things, while Convergence is happening, Secret Wars is happening, all these things are happening that are just mashing up all these things and making new alternate versions or whatever. Everyone has been missing some of the greatest alternate reality. Brian Q. Miller has just been quietly sitting in the background, going do-do-do-do-do, and just creating, just working. Now that it's not a show, and he's like, oh, I can do anything in the comic? F it. I'm going to put the entire DC universe in there. And he had already given us a Barbara Gordon Nightwing. Now he gives us a Barbara Gordon Nightwing who gets who becomes a Blue Lantern. Barbara Gordon Nightwing Blue Lantern. That just quietly happened while nobody was looking because Brian Q. Miller's like, I just got my own corner of the DCU. It's like the Brian Q. Millerverse.
This is a little sandbox.
F-U New 52. I'm over here on Earth 53, my own Earth. Probably doesn't sing like that to himself. That's really just a me thing. But he could. I don't know. I love Brian Q. Miller. I love Smallville.
Like to think he
This
does.
continue to be good. Yeah, in my head, Brian Q. Miller is even better because he sings while he writes these things. But that may just be my head. Captain Marvel, number 12. Captain Marvel, number 12. This book is so good. Her Flurkin cat has been kidnapped. As has Tick, her sidekick. Her sidekick? Her sidekick Tick. So you go, Tick! Because if you're Carol Danvers in space, they can fucking hear you scream. Take that, Sigourney. This book is so good. I can't even put into words how great this book is. Basically, I don't know, just all hail Kelly Sue DeConnick. If I ever have a captain, if I ever get to captain a spacecraft, in my head I was always calling it the Cuyahoga. Not for the river that caught on fire, but really for the REM song about the river that caught on fire. But I think now I would make all as one word spelled out phonetically instead of like a name. I would call my ship the Kelly Sue DeConnick. Which is just sounds sci-fi and is a great homage. She's just, look, I can actually do this. Hats off to Kelly Sue DeConnick. I salute thee. It's just awesome. Read that book.
You could always name one of your vehicles in a comic after that.
Here comes, I could. Here comes an interesting moment. Star Wars Darth Vader, number 1. $4.99, bitches. You know what that price is? Impressive. You know what happens when I paid it? No! But a whole book that I thought was going to be no ended up being more impressive. Because I'm going to take my hat off again. There'll probably be a lot of hat removing in this.
Just put the damn thing down.
No. My new hat that I don't own. Keith Gillen. If you watch these shows, you know I'm not always a big Keith Gillen fan. There are a couple things I was kind of on, a couple things I was okay with, and a whole bunch of things that I just really didn't like. But, which is why I was nervous. I was like, oh, Darth Vader's getting a book? Oh, Keith Gillen. Because comic books like to do that to me. They like to take creators I love and put them on characters I can't stand, and vice versa. They take characters I love and give them to creators. I'm like, oh, I don't like that guy. Oh, I never like her writing. Oh, I don't like him. Oh, no. Because, not really, because it's funnier that way. But no, Keith Gillen blew this out of the park. Forget park. Let's go with the space metaphor. He blew this out of the galaxy. I should never have underestimated the power of Keith Gillen. It sounded like Vader. It felt great. It looked. Who did the art on this? Laraga. What's Laraga's first name? Let's find a page. I'm never gonna find a page. Why do you do this to me, comic books? All I did was love you.
Everyone hates you.
Salvador Laraga. It's gorgeous. I don't know if I could spend that many... even if I had his level of artistic talent, I don't know how many times I could draw Darth Vader without without shooting myself in the face. That's a lot of detail. A lot of juxtaposition between curves and straight lines. It's almost like math drawing Darth Vader. It's crazy.
Good analogy.
But he just knocks that shit out, and Keith Gillen, it's pitch perfect. And I love the first 2 issues of Star Wars, and this is perfect. And literally, it stems right out of there. Vader is on a mission because he's being chastised and punished by the Emperor because he failed him in issues 1 and 2 of Star Wars. So it's this whole great little. They got 3 issues of Star Wars comics out in the new continuity, and they've already got a continuity, a new, a mesh, an interplay, a universe, a galaxy, not far, far away, but right there on the shelves of your local comic book store. And yeah, it was freaking awesome. There's nothing wrong I can say, and I'm a small petty man. And I like to find flaws in things. I like to find flaws in things, especially things that I really want to like, but at the same time are done by people who I'm used to not liking. So, congratulations, you've turned me around. Black Vortex. This is Guardians of the Galaxy 24. It's got Howard the Duck on the cover, but he's not in the book. It's good. Basically, it's the Black Vortex turns out to be the cosmic version of the Siege Perilous. Because basically the X-Men like to find doorway artifacts that you walk through and change you. Because plot device.
Yes.
But that's like their mutant powers to find this shit. But this, I want to throw the Siege Perilous into this and see what comes out. We collapsed everything. Maybe that's how the new Marvel universe takes place. Is somebody does exactly
I'm gonna laugh if that happens.
But it's great. It's it gets kind of political, which X-Men books do at this point, as everybody takes sides of, we should use this and become even better versions of ourselves and save the day. And no good can come of this because it never comes of anything like this. Have you read our convoluted continuity? And newer characters haven't, older characters have, and some people are just, they all just kind of take sides. So really, it's, nothing new under the sun, but great angle on it. Just loving it. Ghost Rider. This book is coming to an end. I don't know if this Ghost Rider will make it to the new MU. Art on this issue is much improved from previous issues. The story and art is by Felipe Smith. So he just said, you know what, F it. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to do it all myself. And it worked. He should have been doing that. He should have been doing that for the last, 4 issues. Maybe this book wouldn't be being canceled. But it ends with, forget cliffhanger. It ends with like a roof jumper. And I'm like, because the book's ended, so they can do anything that, they can do whatever the hell they want. So, it could be a sad day for characters. It could be a triumph.
Or just another day.
Or just a day. You know how it is. Wolverines was a little awkward, but I still sort of like it. Basically, the problem is twofold. One, Charles Soule doesn't write all of them. That's a problem for every comic book that Charles Soule doesn't write, except for the ones that Cullen Bunn does write, which is like 90% of comic books in America today are written by Cullen Bunn.
But what about your Palmiotti and Bendis love?
Cullen Bunn writes. He is to 2015 comic writing what Al Milgrom was to 1980 comic book inking. He's just everywhere. He's everywhere. He's on everything. In fact, we should put them both on a book. We should put them on every book. Everything in every comic book coming out should be written by Cullen Bunn and drawn by Al Milgrom.
I thought you said he just inked.
Well, he draws and he inks.
Okay, I was about to say.
He's the guy. Al Milgrom is the guy you go, oh shit, no one's gonna get this in on deadline, and Al Milgrom comes up and goes, dun 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 dun. He's like Mighty Mouse. Here I come to save the day. And he, little red line. But anywho, back to Wolverines, the book I'm actually talking about. So this one's written by Fawkes. I don't know Fawkes' first name. Ray Fawkes. That's why it was hard for me to remember, because it was so long. So there's a lot of characters in this, and then they had the Amazing X-Men show up as like guest stars, because it's issue 6 and we've got guest stars on a weekly book. And I like these characters, but really I want to like them more than I do. We're not getting enough character development. They're doing some interesting things with some of these characters. I really like the idea of this axis. What do they call it when they got axis flipped?
Inverted.
This inverted Sabretooth that is supposed to be trying to be like a nice guy, but everybody still, of course, treats him like the psychopath that he has been up till now. But it almost seems forced, and by almost I mean it seems forced because they're not being able to spend enough time on it. So it's almost like the same go-to one trick. There's always him saying, I'm going to help, and someone going, get away from me, you psycho, and then him looking kind of hurt, embarrassed, and angry in each book. It's like, okay, we got that. Build on it, do something with it, instead of just making it, this could be great, but so far it's been kind of a go-to. And remember to make someone be untrustworthy, someone be untrusting of Sabretooth. So, yeah. Thor, Odin's son, formerly known as the god formerly known as Thor, is okay with girl Thor. Sif is mad at original Thor. Odin is mad at everybody, mostly her. And Odin's brother, the god of fear, that I guess was a part of Fear itself, that I didn't read because Fear itself. Is now like Odin's general, and Freyja, Thor's mommy,
Let's just go with Freya.
whose name seems to be variable, is mournful of the fact that she's like, should have picked up that damn hammer when I had a chance. So that was pretty cool. Superman, Batman, World's Finest, 31. Coming to an end as it wraps up the end of Earth 2 before Convergence, where there'll be a new book called Earth 2 Society. That I don't know if it's this Earth 2, if there's a new post-Earth 2, if it's a previous Earth 2. I don't know. I don't know anything. Nobody knows anything about Convergence. I should know things about Convergence. I mean, I was there. But, or I will be. I will have been there. It's the
time traveling.
The past, future, progressive.
Keep it up. Maybe your head will explode.
Secret 6, number 2. This cover hurts to look at, but I like it because it hurts to look at, and I like the new Catman mask. He doesn't wear it in the comic, but the comic's really good because it's Secret 6, written by Gail Simone, and that's what the world should be. Here's the new Suicide Squad. I was making fun of them earlier because it don't make sense. 2 guys are already dead and immortal and regenerate, so how are you going to blow up their head and make it work for you? You're not. But that has nothing to do with my review of this book. This book it's a second issue, and I can already say, beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is in my top 5 New 52 books. I love this already.
Does that mean it's going to get canceled too?
Possibly. I just said I love it, so it's screwed. Sorry, Gail. But this is a team book with a handful of new characters, a handful of brand new characters, a handful of new 52 characters, and all of the characters are clearly dear to Gail's heart, which means 2 things. 1, we know she's going to write the hell out of them because that's what she does. And 2, it doesn't make us think they're any safer because I won't say Gail Simone has no problems killing characters that she's near and dear to. I mean, I'm sure it upsets her on some level, but she'll do it. She'll do it if it comes to it. That's where the story's going. Beep, beep, beep. Then they're going to die, but you're going to feel it because so is she, and it's just awesome. Speaking of awesome, we'll skip ahead. Doodly 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 doo. This bad boy, this mama jamma. I bought this yesterday. Secret 6 Trade, Volume 1, Secret 6 Villains Unlimited, Villains United. This monster, 1999, gets you ready for this? Collects Villains United 1 through 6, Villains United Infinite Crisis Special number 1, and Secret 6 1 through 6. Alright, there are 13 books in here. The first 6-issue mini that introduces this new Secret 6, a one-shot,
awesome.
a giant-sized one-shot that, evolves this Secret Six, and then the first 6 issues of this Secret Six. So it's just so crazy good. I can't even put it in words. It was like falling back on an old, dark, disturbing.
Well, then make a
Kind of like
face.
going home again. Only, what if your home was like, forget dysfunctional. It was like abusive.
Just make a face and a noise like that.
It was, yeah. So it was kind of like going home. So damn good. Batman Eternal. Who's the bad guy behind all the other bad guys?
Number.
Ra's al Ghul. I spoiled it for you. So Ra's isn't dead again. He's back again. He's behind everything, and Batman's gonna be pissed. Batman's gonna be pissed. So this is Batman Eternal 45. It ends at 52. So we're getting there. Chugga, 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 chugga.
Batman.
And it's just crazy. And now that we know that it's everything behind it is Grandpa Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul, depending on who you feel like, how you feel like saying it. I say we just say, oh yeah, here's what we do to you.
Just call him.
We'll have your superpowered grandson, your apocalyptic superpowered grandson, Damien Reborn, come kick your ass. I think that'd be good. Amazing Spider-Man, Part 6 of Spider-Verse. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 14. The only caveat that I've had with the Spider-Verse has been how everything has been kind of like a read 2 pages, go check out this mini. Read 2 pages. Go. This doesn't have any of that. And now that it's coming to its own, it's like they took this whole giant thing and Dan Slott just said, oh, and look, it all spirals down into a magnifying glass, super focus, laser beam, burns through your foot. Holy shit, that's intense. Really, really good. Peter Porker, the spectacular Spider-Ham, is naked. No one was ready for that. No one. No. Peter Porker, the spectacular Spider-Ham, is naked. I know I just said that. I felt it bore repeating. This is great. This is just great.
I need to eat some bacon.
Dan Slott just keeps doing things that I don't want to like. The fanboy in me goes, no, what are you doing? Don't kill those guys. And then I love them. So, and then we're going to have the New World kickoff, and I'm terrified and yet
Curious?
physically
Hopeful?
aroused at the idea of Dan Slott being given a clean slate and go, it's a slot slate. Go with it. And he's like, I get to make new everything. That's insane. Someday, in the not immediate future, someday Dan Slott will stop writing Spider-Man. And I
Will weep?
I forget all of that right now. I'm already feeling bad for whatever poor bastard gets the gig. Hey, Dan Slott said he's going to leave. You want to take over for Spider-Man? And I also feel bad for the Spider fans because clearly the Dan Slott run has been so, it's been just so amazing, for lack of a better word. It's been spectacular, amazing.
I will throw things at you again.
It's been web of. That it means one of two things are most likely to happen. You're either going to have someone step on who just tries to
Imitate?
who tries to, you're either going to get a second-rate Dan Slott, or you're going to get someone who goes, well, I got to just do something totally my own, and it's just going to be like,
Die.
oh, there I was sitting in a hot tub when someone threw in a block of dry ice. And yeah, don't get alarmed, Internet. He's not leaving. This is just, it's so good that I already fear for the concept of of his eventual one-day departure. Justice League 3000, number 14.
High or low?
Ice tells the story of what happened in between. Remember, this is Special Earth. This is Giffen de Matisse Earth. This is Bwahaha Earth. This is JLI Earth, where literally the last time we saw some of these characters, they were actually on the team called the Super Buddies. Because can't believe it's not the Justice League is hardcore continuity here. That's awesome. Formerly known as the Justice League, and I can't believe it's not the Justice League, are like canon. And you could blow my heart out of a cannon and still not get the velocity and impact that this has. I love it. Thank you, Mr. Giffen and Mr. Dimothy. Rachel Rising, number 31. Greatest, dark, creepy, beautifully illustrated, masterfully written, black and white, mood piece comic. Terry Moore.
He's good.
I don't have words, and I've got like 3 degrees in English, bitches, but I don't have the words to describe how awesome this book is. That means they haven't made those words yet. But when they do, I'll call you.
Well, you can try and make them up.
Future's End 41. Future is ending.
Yes.
It continues to have highs and lows. It confuses the hell out of me. At this point, I'm getting like a time travel nosebleed. Convergence is happening, stemming straight out of this. But this takes place 5 years in the future. After Convergence, DC Universe is completely different. Or at least DC Comics is completely different. They're going to have they're not going to call it New 52 anymore. They're going to have a main New 52 verse, but they'll be free to do anything and everything they want in books that have I don't know what relation to continuity. But if this is taking place 5 years later, does that mean that post all the Convergence stuff, everything jumps 5 years? Post all the Convergence stuff, it goes back to before Convergence happened, so it still hasn't happened, could happen, has already happened.
Best ratings ever.
That was my cosmic aneurysm. Ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what else to tell you. New Suicide Squad is greater than new Suicide Squad. Which is why I'm sad that I'm reading this knowing that, and eventually this is going to be my lineup. First off,
just why?
Scott Snyder should either be getting an extra bonus or kicking people in the teeth, because the best part of the Court of Owls was, they're Wolverining the Court of Owls. They're like, wow, this was cool. There are Talons, and there are Talons in every part of the DCU right now. They're just everywhere. I mean, a Talon had his own series. A Talon has been on Birds of Prey. Now she's in, that same Talon is in
JSA?
No, Secret Six. Now there's a Talon going to be on Suicide. There's just Talons everywhere. Talons. Look at all the Talons. They're like signs. Talons everywhere. So it's like Talon overkill. But there's no Talons in this book, so I'm reviewing shit that hasn't happened yet because I have no linear line of thought.
No.
This is good. I'm already said that potential changes are happening. I believe it's the same creative team, so I will give it a shot. But it seems almost like they just let fanboys in the back of a comic store just go, what characters would you use? And
no.
I don't know. I don't know how that worked. Also, oh my God, is New 52 Reverse Flash, his costume, the ugliest thing you've ever seen? Yes.
I've seen worse, but it's pretty hideous.
That's just ugly.
Lest we forget Psycho Pirate.
The original Psycho Pirate?
No, the new 52.
Oh, the new 52 Psycho
yeah.
Pirate. Okay. All right. A bar has been set, and I have been corrected. Justice League United continues to be okay. But it's got the Legion of Superheroes in it, so I'm happy. And Animal Man is shocked at the name Bouncing Boy. Because Bouncing Boy. Sixth Gun. Colin Bunn. Home run, lots of fun. End of the world is almost done.
Do you feel better about yourself now?
This book is a number one. Son. Don't throw stuff at me when I'm holding my sixth gun. You could wrinkle it. Then it won't be pristine. Hey, more Colin Bunn. Bride of Helheim. Number 4. This book, so good. I can't even tell you.
Just squeal already.
There's like, imagine if you will, a Dragor, a Draugr, a Viking Frankenstein kind of guy. There's a chick that has a crush on him, but she gets turned into a Valkyrie who now wants to destroy him and take his soul back to the reward that he's earned because he's dead and has been denied Valhalla. They fight the kind of fight that can only end with king. And at the end of the book, looks like it will. And the whole issue is just that intense. It's so good. It is so good. Deep State. So many twists, and it turns, and twists again. Let's twist again, like we did in Deep State. Let's twist again. Here in issue 4. This is Justin Jordan, so très bien. Ariella Cristantina on the art. Very stylized. I really like it. Weird alien technology, pseudo-life, tries to take over the planet. Woman is picked up by weird group no one knew existed that is like an organization that deals with shit like this. However, then there's twists of who really knew about this organization, whose agenda is what, whose agenda is a parallel, whose agenda is a crisscross, who has a parallel agenda and a crisscross agenda. It's... am I coming or going? I don't know, but good way, you know, like where there twists and turns because Justin Jordan is doing things on purpose and a clever writer, not what the hell's going on in a what the hell's going on way.
Or tee-hee-hee, I'm so clever.
Yeah, you know. Nightcrawler number 11.
Why?
Is okay. Art-wise, continues to be great. Okay, Todd knocks it out of the park.
Sounds like a comic book villain, Todd Noxic.
Chris Claremont continues to reach backwards 30 years into his heyday and pull out things like the Warwolves from Excalibur.
Damn.
And like an entire planet full of hounds like Rachel Gray was. Only some of these, I don't know which is. You want to talk ridiculous costumes and how women are exploited in some of the, you know, in many 98% of comic book costumes, and that 2% used to be 0.05%, but it's become 2% because they've changed some costumes recently, for the sole purpose of avoiding that. But now, here's a grand balance that nobody asked for, because this planet is full of not just women in the
oh Lord,
still ridiculous spiked semi-unitard that they wear, but they're men in the same exact one. So Claremont's like, oh yeah, I'm not sexist. I think everybody should look ridiculous. So they're all in these body tards that are like open on the sides and just I don't understand. I get why they would consider, I get why, I mean, Claremont's a legend. I get it. But sometimes you gotta quit when you're on your A game, I guess. Magnus Robot Fighter, number 11. I continue to love this book. Magnus has been awakened to the real world, but then he died, possibly in the issue before, and is now back in the cyber-enhanced dream state and trying to get his way back out to the real world where he's needed. And it's all just kind of surreal and
Trippy.
yeah, it's wow, I can't believe I didn't think of this earlier. Fred Van Lente has created a Magnus robot fighter that is the love child of Logan's Run and The Matrix.
Ooh, I like that analogy.
That's a good damn analogy, and
Yeah,
it sums up the book perfectly and makes you realize, oh shit, that would be cool.
Amazing.
Cullen Bunn again, and Larry Watts on Army of Darkness. This is Ash in Space. Again, why do I need to review that? This is Cullen Bunn writing Ash in Space.
Just read it.
This is the greatest book. Why am I reviewing it? Princeless, the Pirate Princess, number 1 from Action Lab. Continuing Jeremy Whitley's girl power, doing it for yourselves, self-rescuing, badass. I don't need no man to define me. Girl power, princesses. I love this book. I love this book. I love this book. I love all of the minis up till now. I love this book. Also, I love that book. And
You love that book?
you've got kind of a the new pirate princess is a badass. She looks like Mulan if Mulan lived in the world of Pirates of the Caribbean and made Merida look like a chump with her bow skills. But she's called the Black Arrow for a reason. But what it really boils down to, and this is important, is Bedelia the Dwarf is still my favorite character. Because Smith Smash. Jungle Jim, number 1. King Dynamite, Jungle Jim. This was awesome and took me by surprise because I really expected this to be a book I would review for the sole purpose of it being number 1. And Dynamite is nice enough to send me these, so I try and give everything a shot. But holy shnikes, I did not expect it to be tied directly into their latest and greatest Flash Gordon, but it was. And then Paul Tobin writes it. It's illustrated and colored by Sandy Jarrell. This book was beautiful and just awesome. And Jungle Jim, we find him at the end. Apparently he's got some kind of morphing skills, because at one point he's a monkey. So I'm already in. That's all you needed. And any comic that ends with the words, I ought to be wearing trousers. I am in. I am in for the long haul. Thank you, Dynamite. And finally, to end up this long-winded rant o' mine, we're going to end with Starlight, the trade collecting all 6 issues of Mark Millar and Goran Parlov's. I described it in all the issues when I reviewed it as basically this is
Flash Gordon Dark Knight.
yeah, it's like the Dark Knight treatment for Flash Gordon. It's beautiful.
The comic, not the movies.
It's amazing. And the hero's name is Duke McQueen, which sounds like it could be a pulp level hero. It also sounds more like it could be a 70s level actor. Or both.
That's an awesome name.
And yeah, it's, this book is amazing, and also amazing. And Mark Millar is another one, or Mark Miller. I always say Millar because but he's another one that started out. He wrote a lot of stuff that I just never really liked, and then more and more lately, everything he does has been started as a guilty pleasure, and now I unabashedly love him all. So, good day.